Well, welcome friends and fans of Bob's Barn Workshop. Here we are on a beautiful, warm, sunny Monday morning, July 19th, 2021. My 46th wedding anniversary to my lovely wife. And we're outside the barn. We're in the yard. We have a very special surprise for fans today. I've decided to buy myself a new long-term project. And this is the reveal. I'm going to hit this and back up quickly. Something I've wanted for many years. Yes, this is a 1972 Volkswagen Super Beetle in brilliant orange. I think she has been repainted, but I believe that she was originally orange because all of the paint in all of the compartments and everything is orange. And I believe it originally had a beige interior, but somebody put black door panels in it. We might have to fix that. She has beautiful orange painted wheels, new tires, all new stainless steel brakes, and brake cylinders and all that have been done on the car. One of the reasons I bought it. Thanks to 5150, I forget the rest of his VW, and Musty, and Musty One, and several other J-Bugs. I was able to make sure I researched well. I've been looking for a Beetle, but here in the Northeast, it's hard to find one that's not a monster pile of rust. And I've been searching for a long time. Well, being a Super Beetle, you can notice that she does have a little bit wider hood, blunter hood in the front. That's a telltale. The previous owner put eyebrows on her. She's kind of cute. She named the bug Sunkissed, which we might keep that name. Tires are brand new. The running boards are showing their age. The rubbers around the windows and stuff look pretty good. They probably were replaced when it was painted. Let's open the trunk here a second. This is the floor of the spare tire. Perfect. Another place to look. Strut mounts. Perfect. Gas tank looks great. Here's why I got it so cheap. Yeah, the wiring is absolutely totally botched. So I'm going to have to be fixing on that. But I'll show you something. Door opens beautifully. The door is tight, no wobble. The bottom of the doorpost, perfect. It looks like original. I felt all around the bottom of all the heater channels. They're perfect. The floor, they did undercoat and glob some stuff up in here, but I don't think it's to hide holes. Somebody hung some stereo speakers under the dash, which is hideous. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it. The headliner looks beautiful. I do have to attach it at one spot back by the rear window here. Needs to be tucked back, but that doesn't really need a lot of work. The seats are a little mismatched. These look like, and they're all loose. They got to be tightened up. These looks like the original beige. The back seat is a little different color beige. I'm not really too worried about that, but you see the side liners in here are beige. So I think what Bob is going to do is put beige in the front, even though the trim looks black. I don't know. That's not a priority. The priority is get this car going down the road. I don't know if you can see. I don't have a lot of light in here, but we can explore underneath. Now somebody has jacked this in the wrong spot. But as you can see, this stuff is all solid right here, the heater boxes. Somebody goobered it up with stuff. The floor pans. I don't know, I think they're original. I mean, I can't see where they've been cut out. As I said, they've been globbed up with like greasy, tarry shit stuff. Front floor pans look okay. They might have been replaced. But everything looks really good under here. This is the McPherson strut type suspension, so you'll see that trailing arm and stuff up front. All right, let's move on to some more fun. Maybe I'm a babe in the woods. I'm no expert. I'm hoping that I did the right thing. Of course, the inside of the hood looks great. Or the trunk lid. I don't see any rust. I don't see any rust up in these corners. I did find a little bit under the gas tank here, but that's pretty much non-structural stuff. Let's move over here to the back seat. Give me a second and I'm going to take the back seat out. Alright, so let's go inside that back seat. Now what I wanted to show in here is I know that they always say that the floor in the battery compartment rots out. And look at, even though that's dirty, that's orange, it's solid, it's solid. This duct needs to be messed with, the heater duct. But look at, that looks like the original floor to me. And yes, there's a little rust haze on it, but there's no pinholes or anything in there. And there's the original harness coming from the trunk. That might be a new harness original. Somebody might have replaced it when they did this restoration. But there's the regulator. So, and there's the wire feeding down to the starter through the floor here. I don't see any rust outs. I don't see any structural problems back here. Anyway. Alright. I looked underneath the front cushions in the carpet here, and it's stuck down on that dang tar stuff. But again, it's solid. It's all really good. I'm going to tear the seats and the carpet and stuff out of this so I can give it a good look over. Will I eventually end up doing a body off frame check and repair? Possibly. Not this summer. I just want to get around the road. So let's move around to the rear. Now I do see a little bit of Bondo work on the left side of the apron above the exhaust there. Now I'm thinking that is just from a dent or something because it doesn't feel rusty. It's not a rust repair, it's a dent repair. And you know, there's a few blisters in the paint here and there, but this car is not going to be driven in the wet anymore. This is a motorcycle, basically. I'm going to take it out on nice days on cruises. So, let's reveal what we got back here. And I am no expert on numbers, so if you guys want to help me out, it looks like it says AH. Whatever that means. AH 054. Is that the serial number? 568. AH 054 568. What can I tell from back here? Well, it's got an older flywheel pulley on it because it's only got the advance notch on it, or the retard notch, and it's got the dimple for the top dead center here. So if I am right, this is 3 or 3.5 degrees retarded, and then that's your top dead center with the dent. And so you have to measure over 7/16 of an inch if you square across here to get to your 7.5 degrees advance, which would be the standard setting. All right, well, she turns over nice and tight, and I can feel every piston. And she moves nice. There's no rattles or anything so far that I can tell. Now let's see, what have we got here? It is a dual port, so it must be a 1600. I think the engine has been out. It looks like all of the original T connectors are in the wiring, or similar style anyway. And how that works is there's like a double-ended spade connector in the middle, and each wire has a female that shoves onto the spade from each direction, and then you push those together with a little tool to get them to made up like a thin screwdriver. But the wiring looks pretty good back here. There's the passenger side tail lights. There's a red wire coming down here. Oh, that's the license plate light. Okay. Goes up and across the back behind the engine as it should. I think I might get rid of this Monster air cleaner and just put one of those can ones on here. Obviously a new carburetor, which I don't know what this rig is here. Adjustable to hold that neck in place, I guess. The electric choke was never hooked up. I see the fuel shut-off solenoid there. Of course, there's our ignition coil distributor, which is vacuum advance, which they have hooked up to the wrong spot. I think the vacuum advance has to go from here up to the carburetor here. So when I get my manual, which I just got today, we're going to research that out. So far it is a points ignition, and I looked in there and the points look like they have been replaced recently. They look shiny and brand new. So put that beast back up on here. Okay, he's back up on there. Let's see, what else can we tell about this. They have an aftermarket header system, and they don't have the rubber gasket worked down around the engine like it's supposed to be. So somebody pulled it out and didn't put it back down in. I know it has to flap down, not up. So it has to get tucked under the engine, I believe. I'm going to have to look at that too. I don't know where this other vacuum hose on the back of the vacuum advance goes. I believe I read somewhere it's supposed to go to a nipple on the intake manifold. But right now, oh, there it is right there. Would that be it? So that goes up there. This goes down here. There's one on the side that's plugged off. But I think that's it. I think this one from the front side of the manifold, vacuum advance, I mean, goes on here. And this one goes on the intake manifold back there. So somebody didn't know what they were doing. Let's see. There's the oil pressure switch down there. Looks like it's got the right wire hooked up to it. What else do we need? There's that little pipe there that comes down through, goes to the muffler, and that's actually your manifold heater for cold days. This will never be driven in the cold, so I don't care too much about that. The fuel line, it's kind of hokey. They got the fuel filter over here, and it comes through the firewall, or whatever, the front of the engine compartment there, with a steel line, but there's nothing around it. It's still metal on metal. Then it goes back to rubber for a while, and then back to steel again. So I don't know exactly how that's supposed to be rigged. We'll have to research that again. So all of my VW bug guys out there, let me know how I did. This aftermarket exhaust, you can see they've got a little bit of no clamps on this, and just a little bit of some kind of goop. They got the heater hoses coming directly down and looping around that one part of the exhaust, so it kind of crushes the heater tube. Again, I'm not too really worried about heater tubes. There is some thin sheet metal rust under here, but I'm not extremely worried about that. I'm worried about frame stuff, and it all looks, the transmission mount, the Y, whatever you want to call it, looks perfect. It is dripping oil, but they don't have the right nuts on the oil things. They're just regular nuts. So that's leaking through there. I got to buy some of those nuts. Heater boxes, very good. I probably maybe will put a regular Volkswagen exhaust muffler. And I want to hear the chirpy tips. Who doesn't want to hear the chirpy tips? I see they welded the bumper brackets onto the frame, so there ain't no removing that. Anyway, but they did do all new stainless steel brake lines and rubber lines, and I think they redid all the brake shoes and stuff, so we can stop anyway. I don't see too much other frame problems. The worst thing I've seen, I'll show you my worst nightmare here though, which I think might be a big problem, and I might have to do a body off repair. It's okay on the passenger side, but right here in the front is the nose of this frame member, and it's rotted through. Now I can make a patch and wrap it around, grind off this bad metal, wrap it around from here around over there, and catch the good metal. I won't be able to attach, I guess I could make a top for it and slip it up in there. I don't know, guys, what do you think? I mean, this is double metal here and double metal where the because that's actually holds the link arm, whatever you want to call it, the bottom A-arm straight for you. So it's the only real structural thing I see. There is one little hole up in the, oh God, maybe this is worse than I thought. Looks like it's bad up there in the Napoleon hat too. Oh God. Anyway, did I buy a disaster? I see the floor pan was rusted out there too, but there's new sheet metal in it. Why did they fill this car with foam? Did they do that at the factory, or did people do that? Alright guys, well, I got a really good deal on this, so even if I have to do some more extensive work, the body doesn't really need too much. It is 50 years old. So, there's the project. This is what happens when you buy something you don't really know what you're looking at too much. This door closes nice if you give it just a little lift. There's no latch on the hood yet. The rear trunk either, that's totally missing. I don't know what happened when they repaired the rear end. They never put a latch on it. Alrighty, well there she is. There isn't anything that can't be fixed on it, let's put it that way. Well, that's it for this little episode. Just a reveal. Probably will be a few projects on this. I'm not going to do an extensive amount of video on this because there's so many other channels out there that know much more than I do. I might have to do a will she run. But the first thing I think I really need to do is crawl under the hood with the schematic, which I have, and I have an electrical background for my career, and sort out all that wiring, because they've got them plugged into all the wrong places on the fuse strips, and that's why everything's all screwed up. And I thought this hood went up higher than this, but it doesn't appear to. I thought it went up higher, but I guess I'm wrong. So yeah, I got to lean in here, and I'll get right inside the wheel well and work. Alright guys, I think I'll put one, those speakers that were under the dash, I think I'll put one right in that hole there where the original speaker is supposed to be, and figure out someplace on the other side to put the other one. But what I'm going to do is there's the rack for the relays, and there's all the backs of the fuses with the tab terminals, which aren't very well insulated or anything. That's the hot one coming from the battery right there, that big 10 gauge wire. It was in the wrong spot. It is right now, and I tried to hook it up to the right spot, and I had a ground wire burn up. So somebody's got this all messed around. So I've got to fix that. And they got the relays pulled out, just laying here. There's a relay tucked up underneath there by the radio, and I don't know why it's tucked up in there. I guess I got to try to pull that out and figure out what's going on with that. Alright guys, that's my disaster. I mean my radio. I mean my my 72 Super Beetle. Take care. God bless for now.